Hey, everybody. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Kim. Thank you for joining. And I see that it is cold and snowy. Cold for Kim, but no snow, but definitely cold all the way around. It's cold here too. Um, when I took my son to school this morning, which is actually just a little while ago, it was um 23. And then I know that, and from what I'm gathering for the rest of the week, and possibly or probably for next week, most of the country is going to have a ton of snow, ice, and cold weather. So yeah. Hey, Missy. Hey, Sally. Hopefully everybody is staying warm, stay safe when you get on the roads and all of that stuff. So um yeah, I think for us here they're saying that we're going to be getting weather in the teens, which obviously is really cold um for Oklahoma. uh and then they're forecasting anywhere between 6 inches to 3 feet of snow. And so for Oklahoma, that's a lot of snow. And then it's going to be like, I think starting from tomorrow, it's going to be like in the 20s and then all the way down into the teens, which is really cold for here. So I know that for those of you who are, farther up north, it's definitely colder. Trust me, I know after living in Minnesota, definitely colder. Um, I think yesterday when I was watching the news, they were scrolling all the temperatures for Minnesota. It was like -35, -50. Um, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. So far here, we just got like a sprinkling of snow. I think it was on Saturday, and that was it. But I know that for us, we will be getting more than just a sprinkling uh next week, so or this week. So I'm already in my head thinking I've got to make sure to pick up maybe some missing items from the grocery store so we won't have to worry about heading out too much. Because the thing is that it's always funny because my husband, because his days are off are Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And so obviously those are the days that I don't post anything because his hours are all wonky. He works really early in the morning. And because he works early in the morning, he goes to bed early. And so I try to spend as much time with him as possible on the days, that he is off. And so I don't really like making any sort of content and all that stuff. But besides that, uh I like to make sure that um he knows how to like chill out. But a lot of times it's like twisting arms to get him to just be like, it's okay not to like want to do anything. But it never fails. He wants to go running around everywhere. So we'll see how it is this week because or this weekend for him because it's gonna be pretty bad for Oklahoma because they don't um they don't do snow plows here. And they don't treat the ground very much. Hey, Monica. Oh, I bet. They are they are packed away right now. I haven't been able to get to them because I have been so completely disorganized since we moved. And what's funny is that when I got my stash and everything all put away, um, everything's kind of like all stacked up everywhere. And now I'm looking at it and I hate it the way it looks. And so I've got all these other storage bins that I've been wanting to put everything away in so that things are a little bit more organized. Do you think I've gotten to that? No. So there's these boxes that have containers in them that I haven't done it. And don't worry. So, okay. Anyhow, what I've been doing is so I've got 2 cups filled with a total of 6 ounces of clear resin mixed up. And today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pouring this mold. And so I noticed that I don't know who it was. I think it was Sally that said that she really likes this mold. And then I'm going to be pouring this one too. That's why the two that's why I got 2 6-ounce cups of clear resin. So this one I'm gonna try to pour another lace effect um flower, whatever you want to call it. And then in the white, so with this one here, I put in the just the plain. Yeah, it's like when you move, you have all these great intentions of going through all these boxes, and then you're like looking at them and they're staring back at you, and you're like, yes, I know I need to unpack them. But it's kind of like, but I don't want to unpack them. So, anyhow, I really need to get through them because it's driving me nuts because it's sitting in our dining area. And my husband is sneaky. Um, he said that if I get those boxes out of the dining room and put away all of the crap that I have out there, which really there isn't a whole lot, um, he said I can get another cat. And of course, the kids heard that. So since November, they've been getting on me about it. They're like, "So when are you gonna clean that out, mom?" So I told my youngest, I said, "Well, maybe like during spring break." Yeah, exactly. I told my son, I said, maybe during spring break, which is like, I think it's either the second or third week of March, you can help me go through everything. Then we can get a cat. So there's that. All right. But this one, what I'm going to do with the white is I've got uh this here is the 6 pack of interference powder. And what it is essentially is it looks like it's just white mica powder, but when you mix it in with either white or black resin, it gives you a different color. So here, I'll show you the insert. So with a black background, I can get gold, silver, blue, pink. violet or green. So what I'm gonna do is mix, I think probably the violet or the pink in with my white, and we're gonna add it to this. Yeah, five is a lot. We have a two. I don't think I could deal anymore with other than just three. And Yoda is getting up in age. She is maybe close to 10. Isn't that what they always say? And then you always you're like, but one more. So it's, I equate it to kind of like yarn or um, whatever it is you collect. You're like, well, if you just do one more can't hurt. So and plus the kids want to get a kitten. Yoda was a kitten when we got her. Ash was a little bit older. Ash was closer to 1, but we've had them for a while. I want to say, I want to say Yoda is close to 10. Yeah, and so it'll give us a chance to go to the Humane Society, look at the kittens. That's always fun, is looking at the kittens and then picking out one. And obviously the hard part is going to be picking out just one. So there's that. All right, so before this resin like starts to cure on me, what we'll do is I'm going to unmold these two here. This one is the one that is for a crochet basket, and then this one is the um lace effect that I'm hoping will have come out like the last one that I did. Let's see if I can. So this is what I'm trying to achieve with this one. Oh, they're so cute. I love their names. Well, so Yoda's the oldest, she's the alpha cat, and then I have Ash. Ash is she's super timid. Um, she lived she was a feral. Both of them were ferals. One of them, my aunt Yoda was a feral. My aunt had was taking care of the mama kitten, and mama had, and I think it was like six or seven kittens, and Yoda was the only female. So um we took her, and the rest went to the Humane Society, I think. So yeah, there's that. And then we went to, I think it was Petco, and Petco was having a an adoption event for a no kill shelter, and so that's where we adopted Ash. She was, I think it was 8 or 9 months when we adopted her. She like, I don't know what happened to her when she was out in the wild there, because even to this day, um I want to say she's like 7-ish years old. um she is still very skittish. She'll let you pet her, she'll let you give her treats, um but she will not let you pick her up. If you do, she freaks out. She will dig her claws into the carpet, into the couch, a blanket, or whatever it is, and you cannot pick her up. The only person that will let her pick her up is my oldest son. And even that, he said it's a very like touch and go situation. So you know, she sits with like next to me just fine. And she's fine if if you give her treats and stuff. And I call her my cat shark because when we sit down to have dinner, she is swirling the dinner table, hoping that somebody drops scraps from the table to eat. So, and she will beg if if she sees something or smells something that she really likes. She really likes plain chicken, plain hamburger, but anything else she. And the funny thing is you would think that cats would like plain tuna, plain chicken, or stuff like that. Yoda is like, or Ash is like that. Yoda does not. Um, Yoda does not like chicken, like canned chicken or anything. She will only eat her kibble, and she will only eat the treats that we give her. Otherwise, she will not eat anything else. Um Yoda is my tortoise. She is the boss, obviously, like you said, and she demands the most attention, which is fine. And she like yesterday was on the couch, and Ash tried to get on the couch, and Yoda was not having any of that and battered her down to the ground. So I scolded Yoda for that. So okay, so let's unmold this one here. This is the um crochet bottom, and this one I really liked because it will make the holes for you. Now let's see how that flower came out. Hopefully it came out, because I did fireworks in the center, and I did kind of like petals, and it's kind of hard. It was hard for me to do the petals because I didn't want to cover the little knobs there because it will block the making of the holes. So, hey, Sandra. All right, so let's see how it came out. And there we go. Oh, I like that. So that's how that came out. It's kind of like what does it remind me of? Um, Kind of like a, is it like a hydrangea? I don't know. But I really like how that, excuse me, how that came out. I like the pink and the white contrast. I really, really like that. And then so now I gotta pick out some yarn. I gotta find a pattern to make the basket with this. But yeah, it did come out really, really pretty. I'm super pleased with this. All right. So next, let's get that out of the way. Is this the flower? All right. So like I said, trying to get that lace effect. And there we go. And it came out exactly the way I wanted to. I really like the way this looks too. Yes, I have been. Pouring Your Heart Out is an awesome channel to watch. She really explains how things are done, because a lot of times when it comes to um resin, it's kind of like baking. You have to have a specific recipe to get these certain effects. Um and it's a lot of trial and error. So I am really happy with that. And I like the pink in the center. I like the fact that the pink kind of stayed where I put it. It moved a little bit, but not a lot. And then I like the dark green, and then of course the light green. And that's exactly what I was looking for. Um, so that's the two that I was wanted to see if I could replicate it, and I think I did a pretty good job. This one is a little bit better than this one. I think if I had added a little more white pigment paste to it, it would have worked out a little bit better, but otherwise, I really like it. I think it's really interesting how when you put the white pigment paste down and then you put the clear, how the clear resin still manages to pull that white from the edge all the way into the center. Yes, yes, it does. I really like the way it does. Um, this reminds me of they have pink plumerias in Hawaii, and this is what it reminds me of, and that's kind of the look that I was going for. They have really hot pink colored plumerias in Hawaii, so I am super pleased with that. Okay, so now let's pour this one first, and I will show you the colors that I picked. Now, the two colors I know are open. The other one, I'm not sure. It's not. Where is my push pin? I do not know where my other push pin went to, but I've got lots of extras. Um, okay, so this one here, I am going to be using these colors. It's going to be fuchsia, and then a watermelon. We'll see how the watermelon is. And then the last one is lavender. All right, so I need approximately 1 ounce of the clear, and probably not even that. Um, and then, and since I like the way that I also had used the glitter in that pill tray that I made, I'm going to be putting some glitter um, in the pill tray that we're going to pour today. And I'll try not to talk too much so to avoid going over too much of the my 1 hour restriction. Okay. So I find using a push pin to um open my alcohol inks is much better than cutting the tips off, because then it doesn't spatter everywhere because it's all under pressure. So, okay, so I'm gonna be using this violet interference powder. So if you can kind of see in the light, it's got the violet. And it'll be a lot lighter in color mixed with white. Now, if I had mixed it with black, it'd be a little different. but I'm not looking for like a way out there color. So put that in there. And I'm hoping today to post another video with um more prizes. Um Cats do that. They're like, Yoda does that. If I'm on my phone, or my iPad watching videos or something, she will jump right in front of me and plop herself down on my lap as if to say, nope, you can't do whatever it is you are doing. You must pay attention to me. So I totally get that. Um, okay. Now I'm gonna mix this up here. Stick off. Okay. Then once we pour this, and I'm gonna use I'm debating on whether or not to use a piping bag or not, but we'll see how I feel. I might not use a piping bag. Test my steady hand. Okay. So that's the white right now. And so now I am going to put that down all along the edge of the mold. And all I'm doing is I'm folding the cup into a spout. Hey, Anvita. All right. So that was just the perfect amount. All right. All right. Now, Yeah, I think, well, Yoda is very much vocal. Ash isn't. Yoda will talk to you. Um, Ash just kind of follows along. She just waits to see what Yoda does. And so like if if say if I'm sitting on the couch and Yoda wants treats, she will meow at you until you get so annoyed, you get it's where the trees are. And she will follow after you, meowing at the top of her lungs. And because she knows that you know what she wants. And then once she gets what she wants, then she will leave you alone. But the funny thing is that um, she will literally inhale the treats when you give it to her because she's trying to race against Ash to get them. Because so I will give Yoda her amount and then give Ash her amount, but Yoda will try to eat them as quickly as possible so that she can then try to nudge Ash away and get the rest of Ash's. So what we've been doing is try to keep them separated, otherwise Ash will never get any treats whatsoever. So okay, now I'm gonna take the clear, and then I'm going to kind of try to push it up against the petals of the mold to kind of get it underneath the white, and it will, I think, assist the white to kind of move to the center, and get that effect that I'm looking for. This out of the way. Okay. All right, so there's that. Now I'll put the uh, alcohol ink down. And I'm getting better at remembering like the paper towels and all that stuff. I swear, sometimes it never fails. I will sit down and then realize I have forgotten something. I'm getting better. All right, so now let's put down the ink. What do I want to do? Let's do, we'll do the fuchsia in the center, or do we want to do the water? Let's do the watermelon in the center. I'm interested to see how this comes out because um, what I think of as watermelon is like a light pinky red. We'll see how it actually comes out of the bottle. All right, so it's an orangey red. Now we'll do the fuchsia. That's the fuchsia. And we'll do it here. And I did see that some of you um would be okay with waiting for something that I, pick up from Japan because I know that like my son, when he went to Japan a couple of years ago, he did pick up yarn from Japan. I obviously I don't know. To me, it seemed a little different, but to me, it was just the idea of it being from Japan. So we'll see what I can find. Um, as far as something fun. So that's what I'll do. All right. So now this is the lavender. And this is just going down at that's the point of the mold. So there is that. Now I'm going to be mixing up this second um 6 ounces of resin. I didn't want to mix the second one because uh I would be afraid that it would cure while I'm pouring the first mold. Because as I was getting ready to pour this, it was already starting to get warm. Um, so for sure would have started to cure if I would have mixed up the second cup. So we will pour the second mold here as soon as I get this all mixed up. um Hopefully everybody is if you because we are forecasted to have some pretty chilly weather, sub-zero weather over the next so many days. They're saying even until next week that everybody is prepared, with food, water, and all of that stuff. um because and look at that, I've got part of the lid here. um but that everybody is prepared for the cruddy weather. So after this, we have Walmart Plus, and I'm going to be putting an order in to have some missing things delivered to the house because I don't want to leave the house right now because it was still cold when I went outside um earlier. And I'm going to be making some cookies later on today. I've been hooked on these cookies called palmieri cookies, I think is how they're pronounced. And or they're called elephant ear cookies. And it's like I was eating way too many of them. And so I would buy from Walmart. It's in their bakery section. I would get like 2 or 3 boxes at a time. And I told my husband, I said, well, they're so small and you only get 20 cookies in a box. And they were on clearance and I should have known when they started putting them on clearance. They were $2.50 for a box. And so I should have just bought them all. Because when I was going to get ready to order more of them last night to have everything delivered today, they say they were sold out. So I went out and I found a recipe for said cookies and found out that if you can get your hands on frozen puff pastry and you have sugar, just plain old white sugar, um, you can just make it at home. It's only 2 ingredients: the puff pastry and the sugar. So that's what I'll be making. And then another thing that oh yeah, definitely. I've got a couple of bags of kitty treats in my cart. And then I've also got some new kitty treats that are coming from Amazon. So we'll see how they like the kitty treats. The kitty treats, they're super picky about. They don't like the cat treats that are chewy. They like crunchy kitty treats. So, all right. This is almost mixed up. So This is the 6 ounces of clear. And then let's get this out of the way without making a mess. All right, now do you guys have any suggestions on where to get a good um basket pattern? I've thought about maybe looking at, I know like Hobby has some pretty good patterns for baskets that I can use that base for. So there's that. But I'm not sure where else I can possibly go. All right, so 2 cups. 1 cup is going to be for, so I'm going to be putting in the recess here. No, you're fine. Um, Cinnamon sugar sounds really good. I might do that. I mean, because I have the cinnamon. And I mean that's easy enough to make, but I have to order everything because I don't have puff pastry. But so I'm going to be putting this fine glitter, and it is, what is it called? It's called aqua tinsel, and it's actually embossing powder, but I say glitter. Um, and I'm gonna put a decent amount in my cup, because I'm going to be using it to put in that edge. And then I need 1 ounce of clear to put into the mold itself. But to mix with the glitter is just enough to make kind of a paste. That out of the way. Then 1 ounce. The other thing that I've been wanting to try is something called shiopan. Um, it is a Japanese salt bread, and is, I mean, it's like, I guess it's super popular in Korea right now. But I've been wanting to try to make it and see how it turns out. But the thing is that one, I need um a specific kind of salt. It's not expensive, the salt. And then I also need a digital scale and some spray bottles. So I've been looking at Amazon for all of my needs. What would we do without Amazon? Okay, so I am putting this here. What I should do is just order everything that I need from Walmart, like the scale, spray bottle, and the salt, so that um when the cold weather hits, I can just bake and warm the house up with me baking. So right now what I'm doing is I'm taking this, the blue, um I could do that, Kim. But the thing is if I do that, um, you risk the chance of the resin causing the glitter to float up to the top, even if you do it slowly. Because I tried to do that, and what happens is that the glitter then moves around and doesn't stay put. And a lot of the people that I have seen use glitter um in their pieces, they tend to mix the resin um and the glitter together to create a paste, which then will weigh the glitter down and allow it to stay exactly where you put it. Because otherwise it'll float around and it'll move around and not stay where you want it to. And that's the one thing that I was thinking too, is I was wondering to myself, if I were to do the same thing with my magnets that I were to put in this particular mold, if it would then stay in place. Because that's the other problem that I have, is that um when I put magnets in a mold like this, and say I do it without like using adhesive on the back of the um magnet and then put it down, the mold or the magnets float away from the spot that it's supposed to stay in. And so that's the only problem. So, oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about, and I can't remember what they're called either. But the red beans, they're called azuki beans. And so like they have, so there's one, they're called, one that I know of. Sorry, fell down, is called manju. And it's kind of looks, some of them look like it's puff pastry, and then you put the beans in the center and then you bake them. Those are delicious. um I I would really like to learn how to make them. But the thing, obviously, with anything like that, it takes practice to learn how to do stuff like that. So, okay, so this is my 1 ounce of clear, and I'm gonna mix in the one or a little bit of the white paste, if it will come out. And then set that aside. Okay, that might be mochi. And so was it it looked like sticky. So it usually with mochi that has this, and then uh on the outside it's like very sticky, and then it has the center. So that I know how to make. I've learned how to make that from my grandmother and my mom. um and it's a lot of work, um but very delicious and very, very much worth it. So, but I've been dying to try to make the um salt bread. I have all the ingredients for it except for the flaky salt. And then um like I said, the scale to measure my ingredients, because they say, especially when it comes to bread making, weighing your ingredients is super important. And then Um, they say using the spray bottle for the water is also important because it creates a crust, and then keeps the center really moist. Because when I seen it being made, all the ideas that have come in my head, um, of making uh, garlic butter ones, the making cinnamon and sugar. Oh my gosh. So I really want to make them. And, even if they don't necessarily turn out, okay, that is an art. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called, but yes, I know what you're talking about. Where they kind of look like flowers and um well, if it tastes good, that's all that matters, really. Um, when I cook, it doesn't always look the greatest, but my family says it tastes good. And it's funny because my youngest son, he's asked me the other day, he said, Mom, when you cook, do you mean for it to be like healthy because of all the vegetables you put in it? Or is it just because that's the way you cook? I'm like, yeah, that's just the way I cook and the recipes that I choose. And he's like, oh, okay. I said, why? Is that a bad thing? And he said, no. He said, I like the way the food is. I'm curious why we have so much vegetables in our food and yet it tastes good and it doesn't taste like we're eating vegetables. I'm like, well, I guess it's a good thing you like it and that it doesn't taste like vegetables. Um, so, I mean, I guess. So, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's it's a like a massive art form. Of course, Japan does everything also like the best of everything in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. So, okay. Um All right. So now the colors that I've got for the tray is, and I have a feeling the navy is not open yet because the bottle is not dirty. So I've got navy, forget me not, and then the last color is turquoise. So let me just take a look here. Yeah, it's not open. So get my push pin here. All right, so my colors down so that they can start moving to where they want to. Um, I'll put the we'll put my turquoise down. Hey, Cindy Lou. Um, Let me wipe that off. All right. So So this is the turquoise. That's gonna go down first. Oh, wow. And not to worry, I still working on this tray, so we've got a little bit to go yet. Um, and I'm just gonna put this one right along the edges. It's always so satisfying when I put my colors down. Okay. Of course, it's always so interesting to me to see like if the color is really true to the color that's on the bottle. All right, now I'm gonna put down forget me not, that one here. I do that as well. Although um so I've been doing that with like the shield pun, and I do that with like music videos or people who react to like music that I have like known that have been around for a while, and I'm always surprised at people who don't like know certain artists. So even like more school music. So anyway, so all right, so this is the forget me not, and I'm just putting it down in between. And then the last color is navy, which is going to be the darkest blue. So that's going to be in the center. And I tried to remember to wipe off the tops before I put the lid in. A lot of times I don't remember. And then that's how everything gets a mess. Um, so now what do I want to do? I haven't decided what I want to do for this. I really like doing fireworks in this mold just because I like the way they look. And that's what I'm probably gonna do. I know I'm so boring. Like I say, I always end up doing the same old thing. Yeah, I really like turquoise. And I like the way this looks right now. And so I'm thinking of so I'm gonna put white in with nothing else, no makeup powders or anything. I'm gonna put the white in my piping bag here, and we're gonna put down some dots. Um, and I'm probably not. We'll see how I feel. I may not do all dots. I may just do some of the tray as dots, and just so that hopefully it doesn't overtake the entire tray. So I'm gonna put dots maybe in the center a little bit and then just around the perimeter of the tray. So yeah, I of course, I like blue. You guys know this. So I'm like, okay, you've done a couple of things that were not blue. So it's okay to do things that are blue because um I've been trying to step out of the comfort zone of the blue the blue zone. Okay, I'm taking off the tip there. And so there's my piping bag. I'll get it started. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, is I'm going to do a little bit of the fireworks on this in the center, and then do some on the perimeter, and then that's it, because I still want to be able to see the color. And you guys know that the fireworks that likes to migrate towards the center, just like any sort of resin, period. Because as you can probably see, my flower tray there, the colors are already starting to move to the center. So it's going, it's going to move to the center either way. So I'm curious to see, once I get the dots down, how it's going to end up looking. So we're going to do the center first, and because that's how I usually do it. I start from the center and I work my way out. So we'll do the center first, we'll do a couple of rounds there, and then we'll do a couple of rounds on the edge, and then that's it. So, and I find that the fireworks look is like really dramatic. Um, I don't know what it is. It just kind of, I don't know. It really does give you that 3D effect. Okay, so now, so I've just got, well, yeah, I'm happy with that. So now we're gonna do just one row of dots just around the perimeter there. And I agree, you can get so many degrees of blue, and it gives you so many different looks. Um, from a very light blue to a very deep green blue. So, um, I don't know what it is, whether it's because the blue reminds me of home, but of course they say um blue is obviously a very relaxing color. Although I do find it funny that a lot of like social media, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, like with social media, say with like X and formerly Twitter and Facebook and all of that, they used to use blue as their background. And then of course the check marks that are out there for verified are always blue. Um, which I always found that quite interesting as to why it was always blue. So I think what this will end up remind me of is the um starry sky and the white dots being the stars. I'm just filling in the gaps around the edge here because some of them are pretty far apart. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so, so glad that you still have it. He was like really proud to have worked on that with me. He still comes and like if I'm like working on just something random, he will still come and sit with me and watch me, do whatever it is I'm doing. And he'll ask like, why did I do this or why did I do that or how did this um you know how did this do this and all of that. And I think part of it too for him with hanging out is also the that he knows that a lot of this is science as well, and he's very much into science. So as much as he says he doesn't like school, I really do think he likes to learn. And so he thinks that um, he's told me that doing stuff like this makes learning a lot more fun and interesting. So anyhow, okay, so that's it. I'm gonna let these things cure, and then I have another live scheduled. Thank you, Sally. Um, I will let everything cure, and then next week, Tuesday, I have another live scheduled. We will unmold then, although I really want to unmold the flower and or the tray and make another one just because it's just been fun. But I'm going to try to, after I'm done with this, um, get, if not today, then definitely on Sunday, try to get out another video with, because I still have a couple more prizes that I want to give away as my New Year giveaway. And then what I'm going to do is I will be um picking up something when I go to Japan at the first of the year or first of the month, and adding to the prize pack, since you guys are interested in getting something from there crochet or not crochet related, and then we'll have fun with it. But yeah, thanks for everybody to for coming to hang out and staying a little while longer past the hour. And then also what I'm planning to do is next month we'll do a couple more pours, like I always do. And then probably at the end of February, maybe at the beginning of March, I will take all the things that I've poured, and I'm gonna take a look at what is done, what I like and what I don't like, and then put things up for sale if anybody is interested. So until my next video, I will see you guys in my next one. So have a great rest of your week. Stay warm, stay safe. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I really did as well. And it's been fun. Bye, everybody.